Are we witnessing the WNBA become the WWE? You may think that's absurd, but viewers are beginning to question what's actually going on after witnessing Alyssa Thomas knock Caitlin Clark to the ground. Is this merely a case of tough basketball, or is there a darker force at work? Let's analyze what transpired. Alyssa Thomas recently set a screen so forcefully that it launched Caitlin Clark skyward. Is it really true?
5 quick points here for Caitlin Clark, and Thomas just runs over Clark.
Clark was so irate that she brought up the touch with the referees right away. This is where things become really fascinating, though. This goes beyond a single play. This has to do with the WNBA's future and the security of its young players. What if Clark suffers a major injury? What if other young athletes begin to shy away from the league? You may be asking yourself, why is this happening? And if nothing changes, what does that mean for the WNBA? Prepare yourself, for the shocking truth behind this legal battle is about to be revealed.
She's going to face a level of racism from black players, and she's going to face a level of hostility from lesbian players because she's not on Team LGBTQ.
When rookies had to earn their stripes, do you recall? Caitlin Clark, however, is currently paying the price for flipping that script. She's like nothing the WNBA has ever seen, but her success may be making her vulnerable. How did Clark end up becoming the league's most valuable asset as well as its main target? And be aware that she has been attacked previously. Look it over.
Kicking it out, Evans fakes the 3, takes the 2, and knocks it down. Rob. And all of a sudden, we're pretty close. This has been as close as it's been all second quarter.
Do you think this is really envy, or is it racism? Let's dissect it. Caitlin Clark revolutionized the WNBA rather than merely joining it. We're talking about attendance that is soaring, record-breaking performances, and an unprecedented frenzy surrounding women's basketball. Not only is Clark playing at a ridiculous level, but she is also drawing unprecedented attention to the league. This is where things become tricky, though. Although Clark's fan base is exploding, not every WNBA player is overjoyed about her quick ascent to fame. Not simply because of Clark's incredible three-point shooting, some more seasoned players are feeling the heat.
At her 11th double-double of the season, and Clark.
Consider it. These seasoned professionals have been working hard for years to raise awareness of the league. Then Clark appears, and all of a sudden she's the WNBA's face? That must hurt a little bit. Regretfully, it appears that certain athletes are displaying their dissatisfaction on the court. LeBron also had an intriguing opinion on this.
Caitlin Clark is the reason why a lot of great things is going to happen for the WNBA. But for her individually, I don't think she should get involved on nothing that's being said. Just go have fun, enjoy. People need to realize the Indiana Fever, this is the second year in a row they had the #1 pick. So do y'all know what that means? That means they're not that good. They had back-to-back years as the #1 pick.
Why are you a hater on the Fever, man?
I am a realist. Because not only I get people are just crazy about why she should be doing this and they should be doing that. If she's so great, this team, it's still a team game, people. It is still a team game, and but I'm rooting for Caitlin because I've been in that seat before. I've walked that road before. I hope she kills. I hope Aaliyah Boston does amazing. I hope they do great. I'm just kind of in this mode right now because I'm getting the same, thing from watching my son, who's a 19-year-old.
This is starting to look like a pattern, and it's not good. Plays that are hostile in nature have been directed towards Clark all season. It goes beyond simple defense. It appears increasingly like a calculated attempt to literally take her down a peg. Jason Whitlock likens her predicament to that of Larry Bird. Look it over.
Pete. But I also think that, like Larry Bird, there was a reason why the Celtics had the whitest roster in the league playing alongside Larry Bird. And I'm not even saying that to be funny, because when Bill Russell was the star of the Celtics. They had the blackest roster in the NBA at that time to fit Bill Russell's personality. But the clear fact is that she's going to, and this is something no one can talk about other than we'll talk about it here on this show. She's going to face a level of racism.
You may be asking yourself, isn't basketball meant to be physical? Yes. However, there's a boundary between risky strategies, competitive play, and now racism. And the more games Clark plays, the more hazy that line becomes. The best part is right here. In fact, Clark's success is putting her in a dangerous situation when she plays. She becomes a greater target the more attention she receives. She seems to be in a catch-22 situation. Some players seem more determined than ever to stop her from playing, no matter what it takes.
And she's going to face a level of hostility from lesbian players because she's not on team LGBTQ. She's a Catholic. She's got some boyfriend. She's going to walk into an extremely hostile environment.
This is more than simply a single rookie experiencing difficulties. It concerns the WNBA's future. More media attention, larger sponsorship deals, and more admirers are all being attracted by Clark. The league needs her specifically to flourish. However, what message does she convey to other young players considering a career in the WNBA if she's getting banged around all the time?
As it relates to Caitlin Clark, who could come and make the WNBA far more relevant. I'm not going to say she's going to make them relevant.
I'm not on board. In fact, she's making them relevant. Until she showed up, no one was aware of the WNBA.
She's going to face a level of hostility that's unprecedented. I mean, because, again, people think men are bad. A group of women? You just sat and listened to Cheryl Swoops just stack lie on top of misinformation. And a group of black people basically mostly just nodded their heads as if she knew what she was talking about, because Gilbert Arenas knows virtually nothing.
The WNBA should be all over this, right? Correct? False. It's deafening how silent they are about Clark's condition. What's actually happening in the background? Not only is the league's lack of reaction to Clark's escalating physicality shocking, but it's frightening. And the worst part is, this type of targeting is not new to us. Do you recall the attack on Clark by Skylar Diggins Kennedy Carter?
Kennedy Carter now with 12 points off the bench.
A pattern of inaction for the WNBA is points off the bench. Ignoring the WNBA's record of inaction is getting harder and harder. This is when things become quite serious, though. In ignoring these risky plays, the WNBA is seriously jeopardizing its own future. Consider this. What would happen if Clark had a serious injury? We're not merely discussing the loss of a key player for a short while. We may be talking about the biggest draw in the league having his career derailed. Can you image the outcry if Clark's quick ascent is dashed because the WNBA was unable to ensure her safety? That's true, but there are far more repercussions from this inaction than just one individual. The standing of the league is at stake. Fans are not happy as they watch. There are a ton of complaints on social media regarding Clark's harsh treatment. The WNBA runs the risk of losing the momentum Clark is generating in the game if they don't step up. Reduced attendance, fewer sponsorships, and a major blow to the league's reputation are all on the table. The impact of Caitlin Clark's snub on Team USA's viewership was evident.
And Team USA, not Japan, not China, not Serbia, not Puerto Rico, no. Team USA draws the lowest attendance. How's it feel? Do you care? Merits. Last time I checked, marketing and promotion is merits because people want to get paid. You think they're over there just to compete for Team USA and just to engage in patriotism? People are over there also to build their brands, to elevate their profile, so they can turn that into a marketable tool that can generate dollars for their coffers. We ain't fooling anybody here. That's what goes on. And it was a perfect opportunity for Team USA to do just that. But you didn't do it. Oh, Caitlin Clark, Dawn Stilly, the great Dawn Stilly, who I revere, by the way. But she was playing the way she's playing now. Well, wait a minute. You know she had the potential.
You may be asking yourself, isn't basketball meant to be physical? Yes, you are correct. However, there's a thin line between risky strategies and tough play. Here, the WNBA is treading carefully. They must figure out how to safeguard their stars without sacrificing the passion that adoring followers crave. They must find this difficult balance if they hope to ensure the league's survival. What then is the remedy? Experts say that the WNBA has to undergo significant reform. We are discussing more precise guidelines regarding behavior on the court. More severe penalties are required for risky plays. Most importantly, though, I don't think the animosity toward Caitlin will go away. The league needs to make it very clear that player safety comes first.
Games that have maybe 2,000-3,000 will suddenly have almost 10,000, at least the first time around, right? And these players in their own home arenas are going to see suddenly a big crowd for the opposing player. And get this, a lot of these people might have Caitlin Clark paraphernalia, her jersey, her shirts with the number on it. And TJ, to what you said, there's going to be this growing resentment because now people are going to write stories. Caitlin Clark, the great white hope, the savior of the WNBA. So every WNBA storyline going into these cities are going to be very Caitlin Clark-centric. Or you're out in a public function and the team is out, and all these little girls who have no clue, if they don't really have a concept of race the way adults do, they're all going to race right past all these teammates that have been in the league for 7-8 years that may have had more accomplished careers.
That provided some context. The worst part is that the WNBA's present strategy goes beyond simply endangering Clark. The next generation of stars may be scared off by it. Consider it. Are you going to be thrilled about entering the WNBA if you're a top collegiate player and you see Clark get smacked around every game? Or are you going to start exploring other possibilities? Will spectators quit watching the WNBA as a result of it?
I don't want to see a bunch of tatted up, angry lesbians do rollerblade on a basketball court. I don't want to see it. No one wants to see it. No one wants to see women behaving like thuggish men. And I'm just sorry, that's that. That's a fact.
Thus, the WNBA isn't doing enough. The really shocking thing is that they might not have to. Why? Because the league is subject to an even greater force that has the ability to alter its methods. What do you think? It includes you. Yes, we are referring to you, the followers. Your voice is more important than ever at this crucial juncture for the WNBA. You are influencing the game's future rather than merely observing it. The stakes are bigger than ever, especially when celebrities like Caitlin Clark are involved. Consider it. It adds up. Every tweet, post, and comment you make regarding the league counts. You're not merely yelling into nothingness. Though they haven't shown it yet, the WNBA is paying attention. They will be forced to acknowledge us once enough of our supporters speak up.
We have a different set of expectations for women. And so when I watch Caitlin Clark in a college environment, when I watch women's college basketball, I don't want to see a bunch of fighting, and there's a lot less of it in college basketball. It almost never happens. We had the one little incident where, these videos of angry lesbians fighting each other, it's why I don't watch the WNBA. It's why the league has lost money for 27 straight years.
Do you recall when the NFL modified its concussion policies? That was not an isolated incident. Their hand was pushed by the pressure from the fans. In the WNBA, the same scenario is possible. We have the authority to demand more precise regulations and severe punishments for risky plays.
Why the ratings have been awful. And it's why this whole little new rookie class was greeted as a breath of fresh air, because they presented themselves as feminine women on draft night. If they want to revert to this, the violence.
This is where things become very interesting, though. You have more impact than just whining about poor calls. The future of the league is in your hands. How? You may help the players succeed by lending them your support. You're making it very evident to the WNBA that you support Clark by attending her games and engaging with her material. This is the desired future. That sounds nice, but will it actually make a difference, you might be thinking. Indeed. Observe what transpired in the NBA as supporters of Jeremy Lin came together during Lin's Needy. The league was forced to pay attention. Clark and other WNBA rising talents can benefit from your help in the same way. In addition, after playing alongside Larry Bird, NBA players who had previously detested him for his skin tone began to understand him.
Larry Bird is in my timeline a fair bit. I get a lot of NBA stuff, and I see a lot of the players from that era talking about the first time they played Larry Bird. And it was a lot of, don't you put that white boy on my team? And then an hour and a half later, they'd say, I get it. And I think that is what will happen over time with Caitlin Clark.
Okay, let's review the current situation. We have a history of playing Caitlin Clark tough. Supporters like you have the ability to make a difference, even though the WNBA isn't doing much about it. The problem is that we are unable to wait around. Women's basketball's future is currently under jeopardy. Consider it: attendance, a decline in sponsorships, and a serious blow to the league's standing. This is detrimental not only for Clark, but also for other athletes and enthusiasts of the game. The crucial question now is, are you prepared to defend women's basketball's future? You may not realize how important your voice is. It's time to take a stand and let the WNBA know that we will no longer tolerate this.